Now getting into the actual gun. This being a private label New England Hurricanes gun, some really cool things going on with it. Number one, the pro teams for Planet Eclipse actually do a fair amount of research and development stuff. They get the prototype parts before everyone else. They work it out. If you remember during the roaming video that we posted on Pro Paintball a while back, one of the first comments that popped up was, what was that thing inside the bolt in Josh Davies' video? That was a soft touch bolt that Impact had before anyone else. So Planet does a pretty good job of handing the parts to the guys that need it. The guys that can put it through the ringer before you as a customer get it. That being said, this gun has gone through a couple different evolutions along the way that we'll get into a little bit farther. So, that being said, New England Hurricanes are a pretty strong team out of New England. Done a good job of hyping up the gun up in that area. Planet really has a pretty strong market up there for these guns. A lot of guns up in the Connecticut region. A lot of paintball being played up there with Planet Eclipse stuff, and it works really well in cold weather, which is a huge factor in New England teams. So, going on from there, starting really basic. Planet Eclipse has always been issued, a standard on-off ASA with their gun called the OOPS system, or OOPS if you really wanted to get that technical with it. Standard macro line comes in here with a swivel. This rig is not interchangeable with the Ego because it runs at a different pressure. So something to keep in mind, don't swap one of these with your Ego rigs thinking it's the same thing. So, moving on from there, goes into the gun, does not use an LPR, which is nice, and, it's really a pretty simplistic system altogether. And for all you guys that are out there saying, oh, this is, the same thing as an ion or a dangerous power gun or whatever else, that is true. This is a electropneumatic, blow-forward, unbalanced spool valve gun. And what that means to the end user is, honestly, basically nothing. The system of the gun is extremely simplistic. It's fairly efficient for what it is. It shoots very smooth. It is the same as the ion or dangerous power gun, but that being said, when's the last time you saw an ion being used in the professional field? When's the last time you saw a dangerous power teching guns at your tournament field? And beyond that, when's the last time you had industry-leading developments and customer service and marketing, all this other stuff going in to make sure that your gun always runs at the top performance? So Planet Eclipse does a very good job with this marker and packages it with a great frame, great electronics, and great out-of-the-box appeal. So for all you guys that are saying that, just quit with it. No one really cares. So moving on from there, going on to the grip, nice, overmolded dual durometer rubber grip, held in by 6 stainless steel, button head screws. Works well. One thing I'm really happy with this gun is the electronics out of the box. Planet Eclipse is one of the few manufacturers that I say that it would be arguable whether you need to upgrade the board in here, unless you're a really big fan of, Tadao stuff, or, if you are a fan of Virtue stuff, then kudos to you. So, boot it up. It makes a nice boot up sound, which is one of the things that's unique to the Ego as well. Not many guns with speakers out there besides the Lux. Game timer, battery indicator, settings, everything you need to change is right in there. If you need to edit something that would potentially change the performance of the gun, tap a button inside the grip and you can change it. So that way you can't change a firing mode on the field, so it has tournament lock and all that stuff. So you boot it on, boot it off with just one button, which is nice. And there's the boot down sound. Nice keypad on there, nice Eclipse logos. The grips, electronics, and trigger interface of this gun, extremely nice. Planet Eclipse gives you the choice of using either an opto switch or the micro switch for those of you that like opto switches for you can't get dirty, or you don't have to worry about it breaking or whatever else. Good for you. Personally, I prefer the micro switch because I like the clicking feel of it, which you can feel there. I like having the choice. So nicely done. I know it's a little bit extra cost, but Planet Eclipse doesn't really skimp anywhere, which I like. So going on from there, Flash does a great job with these boards. Kudos to him. Trigger frame's great. Trigger interface with your hand is very good. Now getting into the meaty part of the gun. Inside the bolt you have a couple moving parts, pretty simplistic. So actually going to unthread this and pull it out there. You can see the prop shaft right here, and then some of the actual internal components inside the gun. Very easy to remove. So you have actually three moving parts actually only one moving part in the gun and 3 parts within the bolt chamber. This is of course the bolt. This is the retaining cap, and then the prop shaft. This gun is equipped with a GR2 kit, and what that means to the end user is changes that they made to the gun out of the box. GEOs first came out, it had some paint breakage problems and maybe some leaking problems. The reason why that was is, number one, the ball wasn't actually sitting within the bolt face correctly. With this updated bolt, the bolt will actually cup the ball a little bit better to reduce breakage. The other thing with this that they changed is they shortened this up a bit and then also changed the way that the VVC works. The VVC is the variable valve chamber. What this is a set screw that runs back and forth in here that changes the volume of the valve chamber as you go along. So you screw that in and out, you can mess with that for pressures or temperature or whatever else you want to be doing and basically make it work for you. With the GR2 kit, reduces breakage, reduces leaking problems, and basically makes it so that it works perfectly for you. Planet Eclipse provided this upgrade free to anyone that registered the gun, which is a very cool thing to do. Basically, Planet has always made a very good policy of addressing problems up front, telling you what it is, what the parts are, and how to get them. So, if you don't have those parts, check out online PB Nation or Planet Eclipse's website for the GR2 update kit. So, very, very cool. That's another thing with Planet Eclipse you don't necessarily with guys like Dangerous Power or whoever else. These guys update their guns and get the parts to those who need them. So, very, very solid. The gun shoots, a very flat trajectory, very quiet, and it's pretty efficient for what it is. Not the efficiency of a pop valve marker, but pretty close, all things considered, and you get the smoothness of a spool for those guys that like that. So, putting this all back together, slide this part in here. Screw it all back in. Planet Eclipse advertises that you can do this within 6 seconds, which might be true, but try doing it upside down like I am. So, that being said, we're all ready to rock. Pretty simple maintenance. Grease it up, replace your O-rings that they include with it. Really, really nice gun out of the box. This being one of the team guns, beautiful finish on it, nice, multicolored sublimation anodizing on it. It's really, really sweet. And Stein runs a quality operation up there. So that being said, if you want to rep your Hurricanes out there and make them known who you support out there in the pro fields as PSP, it's a good gun to have. Hopefully seeing this gun throughout the 2010 season, the Hurricanes I hear are putting together quite a good squad. So thanks for Jeff Stein and New England Hurricanes for sending this gun for review, and thank you Planet Eclipse for making quality product. This is Pro Paintball TV. Thank you.